Ladies and gentlemen, with all the pirates around, it got me thinking that this might be a great time to introduce the newest product from Apple. All of you that know me know that I really keep up on the latest technologies. Well, anyway, so normally they would announce this from Silicon Valley, but because I'm the incoming president of NCBA, they granted liberty. I get to introduce you to their newest product, the iPatch. No longer, folks, no longer will you have to do the BlackBerry prayer in meetings. You can look right at the speaker and pretend you're watching. I just downloaded the NCBA convention app to this deal. It works. That app works on your BlackBerry, your Androids, your iPhone, and now the iPatch. I want to tell you, this is just a shameless promotion for the NCBA convention app. Now, all kidding aside, Stuart Varney says he does not have to wear it. This is in his contract. He said backstage. So, all kidding aside, as we look forward to this next year, you just saw what we've talked about last year. And as we look forward to this next year, obviously we're going to have our struggles with Congress and the administration. But as cattlemen and women, we have a lot to be optimistic about. And one of our top priorities as an organization, one set by you as the membership, has been to expand exports. And we have been seeing the fruit of that endeavor. Today, with the smaller herd that we have and the smaller numbers, and we as cattlewomen understand, and cattlemen and women understand the problems we're having with drought and the higher feed costs and higher fuel costs and all the higher costs we have. The brightest spot we have is we're continuing to see expansion in the export markets. And as president, I look forward to continuing to work to further that expansion. And 96%, you've heard this before, 96% of our consumers, the world's consumers, live outside the borders of our country. And so they represent a major opportunity for us. And it's critical that we continue to work to expand our opportunities to sell beef in these countries. This year we saw the implementation of the Colombia Free Trade Agreement, the Panama Free Trade Agreement, and South Korean Free Trade Agreement. And these are markets that are growing export opportunities for these high-quality beef products we produce. We continue to work to expand access in Russia and China. And it's vital that these markets abide by and adhere to science-based trade standards. We've also seen greater access recently by the Japanese market, and we commend the Japanese government for their recent announcement to expand the age limit from cattle from 20 months to animals under 30 months. We have seen this market growing steadily in Japan since 2003, when it fell off so desperately. But with this change towards greater access, we look for greater growth in these markets. And even before that recent announcement, we have been seeing considerable growth in Japan. The data shows that over 2012, exports were up by 19% in value to Japan to nearly $1 billion. And we expect that number to rise dramatically in 2013. As for our other top markets, the numbers are even better. The latest numbers indicate that we're seeing significant increases for value in our beef exports in many of our largest markets. Our exports by value to Canada are up by 13%, exceeding $1 billion. We can talk about ensuring that young people have a future in this industry, and we all know the best way to ensure that young people have an opportunity is to make sure that the industry is profitable. And that is why these export markets are so critical to us. Profitability has always driven success and innovation, and that will not change as we go forward. As we need to remain profitable, we also need to limit regulations. And the current government, over the past 4 years, has been one of regulation more than legislation. And that's not likely to change for the better. When the legislative path has been hindered, oftentimes by the work that our staff has done on your behalf and on our behalf, the government has worked then to regulate since the legislative path was blocked. We've been successful in preventing some of these regulations, but we still have a fight in the year ahead of us. This year, Congress will also be charged with writing a 5-year farm bill. And we need to remain vigilant to see that gets done. There's concern among some of our staffers even that some of our legislators are saying, why do we need to even worry about a farm bill? They only represent 2% of the population. Folks, this is really important, and we need to make sure while we're doing that we give producers a certainty so that they can make their planting and harvesting decisions and marketing decisions. And speaking of marketing decisions, we need to make sure that the Farm Bill does not regulate the way that you choose to market your cattle. With the federal government, or the federal deficit, sequestration and taxation on everyone's mind, this has been a difficult environment for writing a Farm Bill. There's going to be a lot of temptation to rob away the funds from conservation programs and disaster assistance in order to offset social programs. And we're trying to make sure that those programs remain viable and active and a tool that we can use. So we will remain engaged in Washington, trying to ensure that the policies and priorities that you folks set in this meeting are brought forward. You set the marching orders. We follow your lead. That's why it's so important that you attend the meetings today and tomorrow and voice your opinion and work to find a solution so that we know exactly where you want us to go. I'd like to point out the success of NCBA's Federation of State Beef Councils. The Federation was formed in 1963 when states started working together to promote beef. They're celebrating their 50th year of work promoting product. And as a former chairman of that Federation division, I really have a soft spot for the NCBA's involvement in the Beef Checkoff program. The Federation represents 45 qualified state beef councils and is a vital part of the Checkoff program and provides strong grassroots in representation nationally, and it helps states extend the national efforts through their councils. They move dollars from cattle-heavy states to consumer-heavy states. This year, the Federation is investing about $7 million that were state-controlled dollars to expand the national programs, and that's a real credit to the Federation. The Federation of State Beef Councils is an important part of your NCBA. Now, we at NCBA have worked since 1898 to protect the profitability of cattlemen and cattlewomen, and we will continue to do so. I'm looking forward to working with our fellow cattle producers as this week to help craft the policies that will guide NCBA for the year ahead. This organization is your voice in Washington, D.C. How do you like that? They make me read a script, and I don't do too well. This is your opportunity to influence that voice. We have a heavy road ahead of us, and we hope that by working together we can and will continue to ensure profitability for cattlemen producers. For cattle producer profitability. We're now supposed to run a video.
Expanding the Gasparilla tradition in honor of Gasparilla's centennial in 2004, Umistic Crew of Gasparilla celebrates the return of the Gasparilla season annually with the Gasparilla Extravaganza on the Saturday before the Gasparilla Pirate Fest. The Gasparilla Extravaganza is an alcohol-free family celebration that includes the Gasparilla Air Invasion, the Gasparilla Preschooler Stroll, the Children's Gasparilla Parade, and one of the largest fireworks presentations in the country, the Gasparilla Pyrotechnic Extravaganza. The skies above Hillsborough Bay light up with a brilliant pyrotechnic display that punctuates the night sky over Tampa Bay, renewing Jose Gaspar's legendary reign over the city for yet another year.
Well, the legend of Gaspar is really something, isn't it? And lots of fun, but who would believe it anyway?